Okay, so you put your phones away, or you can keep your phones on because right now we have closing remarks from our two vice co-chairs of the board, Shino and Maddy. Over to you guys.
Thank you for coming to the 2023 summit. My name is Shino Nakane, and I'm the co-vice chair for the Autism Alliance of Canada. I am a mother to an amazing 24-year-old autistic young man. It has been an honor and a pleasure spending the last few days working alongside all of you. As my colleague Rebecca Kitzinger mentioned in her opening remarks, we are better and stronger together. We want to hear your voices. The work and collaboration that was done here will produce outputs that will most certainly advance the national autism strategy. We have heard international experiences. The international policy experts presented on their national level autism strategy, sharing best practices and frameworks that I am sure are going to apply to our respective work. We have learned from Autism Alliance of Canada and Kids Brain Health Network Practicum Fellows and Yvonne Spicer, Ambassador for Autism Canada, a summary of international autism policies and how those policies align with the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. The panel of leaders and organizations from Indigenous communities shared the current barriers that families face and discussed what the federal government and even those of us in this room can do to support Indigenous autistic individuals. We brought together Canadian, provincial, and territorial stakeholders to share what is needed at the regional level and improve services and supports for autistic people and their loved ones and families, their loved ones from a national autism strategies. Thank you again to all the panelists for sharing your experiences and your time with us.
Thank you, Shino. And I am thankful for the opportunity to be the last speaker at this Canadian Autism Leadership Summit, our 9th one that we've had. My name is Maddy, and I am autistic. I'm non-binary and use they, them pronouns. I'm a parent of 5 kids, of 4 of whom are also autistic. I am the other co-vice chair of this Autism Alliance of Canada. I am white with long brown hair and a very gray beard and very pink shirt. I'm sitting in a pink wheelchair, and I live in rural Eastern Ontario in the traditional territory of the Shinnebec, Haudenosaunee peoples, and the territories covered by the Upper Canada Treaty. Now, these last 3 days of this summit has been amazing. We have heard so much of what we have done, what other countries are doing, what some provinces are doing, what the Alliance and its members have done. There's been so much progress. I was particularly moved last night at the Senate reception celebrating the passing into law of Bill S-203. It creates the legislative framework for the National Autism Strategy. And I've watched the debates. I've read about the passing. I was excited to see the website when it showed that it had royal assent. But last night, when we saw the history of the senators involved, MPs, and leaders of the Alliance, together with a certified copy of the bill, it hit me that that moment, there was so much pride and exhilaration that we are actually here. Now, I got involved in this alliance after a conversation I had with MP Mike Lake during the 2019 elections. He told me that we need to have a national autism strategy because we have so many silos that create so many extra barriers for autistics. Silos in provinces, in research, in organizations, between provinces. And a strategy can help us find that collective voice that we desperately need. So that brings us to today. Here are some of the words that I've heard emphasized and again over the last 3 days. Cooperation, coordination, monitoring, data, engagement, intersectionality, funding, ka-ching, 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 social inclusion and social justice, consensus, diversity, time and time management, iterative, listen, consultation, act, now. These words show again that in order for us to be successful in Canada, to really meet the needs of autistics that are living in Canada and their families, we need to do all of these things to reach our collective goals. We are an alliance here. There is this organization, but it is also you, the members, supporters, autistics, family and caregivers, research and policymakers. It is all of our responsibility now to take what we've learned, to take what we've heard, actively break down these silos, these barriers. We need to take on a strength-based approach to supporting us. We need to have an autistic-centered approach to building the various pathways to services and supports for us. We need to include autistics in the decisions so you are truly building things that we need and will work for us. And as my fellow autistic board member and Alliance co-chair Rebecca said yesterday, we need to embed the idea of nothing about us without us. And I'd like to thank every autistic and neurodivergent attendee for their presence and their input and their leadership. Our lived experience can help shape the direction of the frameworks that each province and organizations need to make. And I've seen this mantra work firsthand. In 2019, I was given the opportunity of a lifetime when I was invited to be a member of the Ontario government's Autism Advisory Panel, one of two autistics that were on the panel. And we had a co-equal seat at the table. And I learned so much from all of those around the table. And I know they learned a lot from me and my other autistic friend. Our experiences, as well as my experience as a parent of 4 autistic children, have shaped a truly strength-based, needs-based program. Now, I'm autistic, and my experience as a child was both great and full of difficult struggles. Not being understood, being bullied for being different, and not getting some supports because I was gifted. I have 4 autistic kids who have all experienced significant challenges and barriers because of who they are. Many amazing opportunities, but many struggles of mental health that can be traced to bullying, lack of supports, and barriers to access the services and supports that could help them. Everyone in this room has someone that is connecting them to autism. It is for these autistics now and those in the future that we must act now. We can act now. We have a collective goal. We need collective action. We need to build partnerships with provinces, organizations, researchers, caregivers, autistics, and especially our Indigenous members. We can build the tables that are truly inclusive and representative of the diversity of this Turtle Island. We must include our Indigenous people fully in this process. Like Bertha Sutherland said, nothing about us without us must also apply to Indigenous people. That statement today moved me greatly. And like what Charles Brown said, everyone in this room are the allies to work and partner with our Indigenous neighbors. Both autistics and Indigenous must have the seats at the table of designing and implementing a national autism strategy. So, if 105 senators and 338 MPs can unanimously agree on something to pass this bill, then we must be able to do, as Rebecca said last night, together we can get things done. We have heard what is possible. We have celebrated the path to get here. And now we need to turn from what was to what is. Let's shatter the silos, remove the barriers, and build a world where all autistics can thrive. Thank you.
Thank you, Shino. Thank you, Maddy. There's only one little correction to what Maddy said that I want to say. He said he's going to have the last word, but I guess it might be me. I want to give my personal thanks to all our autistic participants and their families for coming. Some of us are doing this in our profession, and some of us are doing this on our spare time, and really appreciate the time, the commitment, the dedication, the sacrifice to come here, share your voice, and we're honored by your presence. I want to thank our attendees, both in person and on live stream, for engaging, participating, and being part of our collective work. And our supporters, I'm going to list them all. The Israeli Foundation, the Cine Family Foundation, Kids Brain Health Network, CCRW, Staples Canada. There are a lot of tote bags and a lot of stress balls. Please take them because I don't know what I'm going to do with them. RNet TSA, Carey's Place Autism Services, Geneva Center for Autism, Circa, UBC, Autism Nova Scotia, Holland Blueview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital, SAGE, McMaster Autism Research Team, Auticon Canada, Autism Ontario, McGill Summers Institute for School Psychology, and the Youth Alliance for Intersectional Justice. Without every single one of their partnership and support of this event, we would not be able to make it what it is today. I want to thank our logistics team at Face to Face, who's been working with us for 2 summits now, making this event smooth. And Sally, I don't know if she's in the room. There she is. She doesn't know I'm going to say this, but today's actually their 17th birthday of their organization. So yeah, congratulations. They've done such great work with us. And finally, to our team. So can I have the Autism Alliance staff team stand up wherever they are? Those are in the room. I really thank them for all their work and keeping this running smoothly. It's really amazing for them and just having them as part of my team. And lastly, again, love for you guys to join as a member. If you aren't, you've seen this last word cloud. I changed the question. It's about what's your sort of one word take home from these last 3 days. And it's amazing. It's amazing to see how much we've journeyed through, how much we have discussed. And I'm proud to be a part of this. And yeah, I guess that's all from me. So I will see you next year at the 10th annual Canadian Leadership Summit. Have a great day. Safe travels.